Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. These batteries drain so fast. I'm using them a lot, that's probably why. So let's just go back and I'll recap this a little bit. So what I was talking about was that the amount of books you need is related to the amount of tuition that you're paying. So this is one of those rare cases, and I'm going to tell you it's rare. Okay, it's rare. But when we're combining random variables, they have to be independent in order to combine their variances. Notice, I never tried to take this and add it to this, because you can't. You have to use the variances. We haven't even talked about variance in the course much. But guess what? Chapter 6, variance becomes a champ. Okay, we need variances now, because you cannot add standard deviations ever. Ever. Okay? Ever. Okay, you have to go through the variances. It's just the way it is. And we'll talk more about it, and I'll drill that point home for you. Okay, I will, or at least I'll really try to drill that point home for you. All right? So, we can't do that part. So this is the only part that we can do. All right? So that takes us to there. I'm going to slide that up a little bit. Okay? Because we're coming back with another problem. Okay, because we did this, all right? Where am I? So it says problem, find that. Okay, so we did that. So now we're going to go do this A and B. Okay, so let's look at A. So A says, at the downtown campus, full-time students pay $55 per unit. Let U equal the cost of tuition for a randomly selected student at the downtown campus. Find the mean and standard deviation of U. So we're going to find the mean of U. Okay. Now, in order to do the mean of U, we got to know what's happening at that downtown campus. Okay. And if you're doing this in a quiz or a test, it'll be inside the problem. You're not going to have to flip back like we're doing here. And the mean is 15, and the standard deviation at the downtown campus is 2.3. Okay. So it says the downtown campus, full-time students pay $55 per unit. So what are we doing? We're taking what we have and we're multiplying times 55, because it's 55 for each. So when you're multiplying, you can take your mean and multiply times that number, and you can take your standard deviation and multiply times that number. Okay? If it was adding, you could only do the mean, but multiplying, you can do both. So the mean of U, because that's what they wanted, they're going to tell you what they want, okay? And they told me that that's supposed to be U. So the mean of U is going to be 55 times 15, and that's going to be $825. And then the standard deviation of mu is going to also be 55 times 2.3, and we can do that because you're multiplying. And that's going to be 126.50. Okay, so we did part A. So now part B says, calculate the mean and standard deviation of the total amount of tuition for a randomly selected full-time student at the main campus and the downtown. So now we're taking the total, okay, from the main campus, so this is my main campus, plus what I have for the downtown campus, okay, which we kind of just said was U, okay, so I could call that U, not mu, but U. Let's rewrite that. So this is what, I think that's what we used before, way back when, we used T. So that's going to be the same as this, okay, and I'm just going to say that this is main, and you could write main, downtown, so you can keep it straight. I couldn't even keep it straight here. I've been doing this for years. So if you remember back to the main campus, that was something that we were given, and it was $732.50. Okay, it's probably not too far away from this work here, but let's see. I have it here. 732.50. No, I don't have it right in front of me. So, in any event, that's what we had for the main. And then the downtown campus, we just found out, was $825. So we're going to add those together because the means, you can add them. You can do whatever you want with the means. Okay, and I'm going to get $1,557.50. So now I got to do the standard deviation. Okay, well, I told you the standard deviation of anything. Okay, if you're finding this thing, you can never add never add standard deviation. Okay, add the variances. Okay, write it, underline it, man, because someone's going to make a mistake on a quiz. I'm telling you now, happens all the time. Don't let it happen to you. Okay, so the variances. Well, the variance from mean, so that's the variance from the total for the main campus. Okay, was 10,568. Okay, and well, let's look. What do we have for the other campus? The other campus, we're going to have the downtown campus is going to be 16,000. Looks like it's 16,002. 16,002. So if I want to find the standard deviation, I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to add it to the second one, and I'm going to get this total of 26,570. But I don't want the variance, I want the standard deviation. So then I got to take the square root of that. So the, what do we want? What do I want to call this? Total? I don't know. They didn't give me a letter. I was looking for a letter and they didn't give it to me. So we're going to say the mean of the total is going to be the square root of 26,570, and that's actually going to be $163. Okay? That's what that is. Okay, so I take the square root, 26,570, 26,570. You can see it right there, 163 bucks. Okay, so that's how you do it. You gotta go through the variances. You gotta. Okay. One other tip here for this next problem. It says the variance of the difference of random variables. Now we're talking about the difference. Okay. So if d equals x minus y, look at my variances. Okay. My variances add. Okay, and this is kind of a hard thing to explain. I don't know that I've necessarily aced this explanation over the years, but what you have to know is that no matter if you add or subtract random variables, okay, the variances always add. Okay, you're never going to subtract variances because it's not the variability that's going down. You're not losing variability. The variability is always going to grow. Okay, your variability will always grow. Your variability doesn't go down. We're not going to make things less variable. Okay, so suppose we randomly select one full-time student each of the two campuses. So now they're calling that D, and that's going to be T minus U. So this was my main, and this was my downtown. Okay, so remember the mean, let's do the mean first. Okay, so for the mean, we take the mean of the main, and that's going to be 732.50. And we subtract the mean of downtown, and I think that was like 8 something, 825. Is that what we got for that? 825, let me see if I can look at my notes here. Yeah, 825. So when I subtract those two, I'm going to get negative $92.50. Look at that. I got a negative value. That's okay. It's okay. You can do that. So now for the standard deviation, I'm telling you right now, we're going right to the variance. Okay? And the variance, I'm going to do this out for you, but it's, guess what? It's the same thing as before. Whether you do t plus u or t minus u, the standard deviation will be the same because we never subtract variances. So if I were to do this workout, it would say the same thing. 10,568 plus 16,002 equals 26,570. And then we take the square root of that, and that's where I get my $163. Okay? Write it down. Star it. Highlight it. I'm telling you, it's going to be in a quiz. It's going to be in the test. It's a big idea. Variances always add. Okay? You can never subtract. Never subtract. Never subtract variances. Never. All right? So I'm hoping that makes sense. That's our second video. It's probably enough for right now. Okay? We got to do these in pieces. I got notes crazy here that I've been doing all these problems out on, but I think that's probably enough. We will pick up with one last video in 6.2, and what that will do is we'll finish the game. Okay? It might be two. Maybe two more. It's a long section. Okay? But we will pick up from there next time.